And I'll tell you guys since we're all friends. Every character I write has a piece of me in them. Hi, I'm Lee Bardugo, and you're listening to the GrishaCast.
Welcome to GrishaCast, episode 46. In this episode, we are covering chapters 24 and 25 from the book Crooked Kingdom. This is your host, Eric.
And I'm Terry from Nashville, Tennessee. This is your podcast for all things Grishaverse.
A world created by the wonderful Lee Bardugo. Moi Soverenyi, casters.
Hello.
Well, hello.
Hi.
So, let's thank some listener cities.
Let's do it. The first one is Sheridan, Wyoming.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
And then we also are going over to Notting Hill Gate in London.
Ooh,
Incredible.
fancy.
Yes.
And we have Nanded, India.
Woohoo. Well, for those of you asking how you can help, we would greatly appreciate tips.
Your tips will help us to continue to bring you the GrishaCast.
You can Venmo a tip to @BODHIMM.
Or at Cash App, $ BODHIMM.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Dollar bills.
Thank you so much for those of you guys that are tipping us.
Yes, thank you.
We really are doing this just for the fun of it, and it's just all from the heart. So it's just incredible for the ones of you that do have the little extra cash flow right now that are wanting to help us out, because I know times are really hard. That's just very sweet. It's kind of like a nod to us saying thank you, and it means a lot. It
Yeah.
really does.
It helps us to keep going.
And for those of you that are struggling like the rest of us, don't worry about it. Goodness gracious, this is a hard world out there. We will continue to have GrishaCast. This is something that we enjoy doing for all of you, and for us, it is fun. It is something to, I don't know, lighten our hearts, get our minds out of just, I don't know, the chaos that's going on right now. So
Yeah.
it really is. It's a crazy world out there. So it's nice to have a really awesome fandom to be able to connect with.
Yes, it's nice to escape for a little bit.
Yeah, and without you guys, this wouldn't work. So
Mm-mm.
thank you guys for being fans. And to be honest, if there were only 2 of you out there, we'd still be doing it. So anyways, how was your week, girl?
It went by fast again, which I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I still, don't ever know what day it is.
Right.
Like today, I was like, I think I'm supposed to come record today, but I think it's Wednesday. I don't know. And it was a huge, big ordeal. But I'm here, so I clearly know what day it is now.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it.
I imagine you would have been texting me like,
Yeah.
girl, where are you at?
Yeah, that would have been a sad moment.
It really would have been sad. I would have been, oh my God, I can't even. But
Where would my girl be?
I know. I'm glad that the weekend's here. I had an essay due today as well, so I'm glad that's over. And so I can have a little bit of a break.
Yes.
Because it's hard to do everything else on top of being a student. So
Yeah, I'm excited for this weekend too. It is going to be so nice. Yom Kippur is on
Ooh.
Monday, which the high holidays were so weird this year because they weren't like everything else. It's just really weird. But the high holidays were so weird because it wasn't going like dressing up and going to synagogue and seeing your family and like doing the usual stuff. It's just, there's some synagogues that are doing like live video of it, but then some that aren't. And anyways, it's really weird. So like Yom Kippur this year for me is going to be me at my house. I'm going to fast like I normally do, but it's going to be really hard this year because I'm going to be around my family that is, and my kitchen's like right there. So that's going to be difficult, but it's okay. I might just come up with like maybe an idea of like anybody walks in front of me with food and eating, I punch them in the face.
I don't think that matches the spirit of the holiday.
It doesn't,
But-
but it definitely would match the way that I would feel inside.
Yes.
So at
Yes.
least I'm being truthful.
This, this is true.
I mean,
But yeah, it's difficult not to have like your community.
so
During that
warning
time.
out there to friends and family inside my house on Monday,
Don't eat around him.
do not eat around me. Love you.
Hide your food.
Hide your food, literally,
Brush
or
your
you will
teeth.
find it somewhere you don't want it.
He's going to
Thanks.
be hungry.
Happy Yom Kippur. But don't worry, at sundown it gets so much better. It's just 24 hours.
Yeah, Eric needs his food.
I do. I
Yeah.
hate Yom Kippur because of that. I just can't stand it. Well, it's just so extreme. It's
Yeah.
not just not eating, it's no drinking.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like, their mouths drop at that. They're like, you're not allowed to drink water. I'm like, I'm not supposed to brush my teeth. Like, you're not allowed. And if you, like, have to take medicine, you're allowed to do that. But, like, if you eat anything over the size of an olive, you have broken your fast. You're not even supposed to put chapstick on.
Wow.
Yeah, from sundown Sunday night to sundown Monday night.
I didn't know about the chapstick part.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's a lot of dry lip Jews walking around on Monday and stinky because they haven't showered.
That's quite a visual. Thank you.
Oh well, it's the truth. I am full of the tea tonight.
Yeah, you are.
And just truth up and down.
Spilling it because you can't drink it.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I get to look forward to. It's a day off, but not real. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna
So
be
I'll just leave you alone on Monday.
Yes. Don't talk to me until
Yeah.
sundown. I'm gonna figure out what. But at least I'll get to sleep in.
There you go.
There's a positive.
Yay.
And that alone time I've been craving, I'll get it.
'Cause
Because no one's gonna want to be around me. So
Well, there's a bonus. Happy holidays.
there is. And it's just the beginning of another fruitful and wonderful Jewish New Year.
Oh, yay.
So, yeah, so I get that to look forward to. And, yeah, I'm almost done with my book I've been reading. And let's see, we're getting in there in Crooked Kingdom, which is exciting. And there's so much stuff coming
Yes.
with, like, I'm really excited for October.
Oh, yeah, October.
Well, yeah, we're
There's a
celebrating.
lot in October.
We're celebrating our 1-year anniversary, guys.
Yeah, we
So
are.
that's really big. A lot has happened. And I don't know how many of you guys have started from the beginning and still are here. I'd be pretty amazed to know that people that actually started are still listening, because I'm sure I probably scared a lot of you guys away.
The OGGCs.
Yeah. If you are one of those people, I am not kidding. Please do, like, find me, shout out. Like, I mean,
Yes.
like, email me, Instagram message me, whatever. I would love to know the few who made it from episode 1 all the way to here that are loyal, because I mean, that's just incredible. Because this podcast, like, I mean, we're going to talk about it more on our special episode, but it started out like just the love, creating a podcast just for the love of podcast and having no clue what you're about to do. And that's what this all spawned from. And now, look, I get to talk to my best friend every week.
Right?
And she's an amazing host. We now, like, it's just evolved to so much. And it's really crazy to see. And who would have thought within a year we already had Lee Bardugo here
Right.
talking to us
Exactly.
and supporting us.
And all the cities around the world we say every week.
Yeah. I mean, those could be bots, but I'm pretending you guys are people, because it just fills my tiny little cold heart.
Well, we're like charting around the world, so
We are.
which is crazy, and I don't like to talk about it because
Well, yeah, because it seems weird, and I just don't.
it's very strange.
Yeah.
But hi out there.
But I think it just shows that the Grisha-verse fandom we're strong.
Mhm.
And also, this is our time. Like, we finally, like, this is our time. We've got the shows coming, and Lee's been very vocal, and she's just been really at it with a lot of amazing work. The books that she's written for the Grisha-verse, they've always been amazing, but, like, you know, just recently within the past couple of years, they've started to collide and actually mesh into, like, this full circle. And it's just an incredible time to be a fan of the Grisha-verse.
It is.
And Lee. So,
Yes.
woohoo. Yeah. So, anyways, happy October is almost here. We are so excited about it because we got so much planned for it.
Mhm.
And if you guys have any special, like, if you guys are really good at cosplay, which you're about to find out I'm not, please do send us some photos of you guys in any Grisha-verse fandom stuff, cosplay. We would love to see it. Don't you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Because Terry and I have pretty much we're trying. This is a goal, okay? So let's see if this can work, and you YouTubers can really watch.
Yes, you will want to go to our YouTube page at GrishaCast to see the shenanigans that are about to occur.
So we've given ourselves a challenge.
Yes.
The challenge is every episode in October, Terry and I will both be dressed up as a different Grishaverse character something. Yes. And there's 5
Thursdays in October.
So we record on Thursday. So 5 Fridays, you'll get to see something. I've got one idea so far that's like, I know I can execute.
Solid.
Yeah, solid. How many do you have that you know you can execute?
I have 3 that are like 100% solid, and then 2 that are kind of in the works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And then I don't know if we need to just like not say who we are in the beginning and let people like kind of figure it out as we go, and then say it at the end of the episode.
It would be kind of funny if we just literally act as if we're just doing our podcast and not say a single thing about it until the very
dressed
end.
Like crazy people.
Let's do that.
Okay, let's totally do it. I'm down.
Okay. So, and then you guys can guess.
Yeah.
Some of them will be pretty easy. But anyways, yeah, so that's what's going on with me. And hey, we had the fun thing of like doing the names last week, giving ourselves our names. Our Grishaverse names. And I meant to say this to you guys too. If you guys, like, this is all for you. If you have thought of a really cool Grishaverse name, please, 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 I'd love to know it. And it doesn't have to have the silly shenanigan stuff where we like added like the word, the adjectives and the nouns that like have the same letter like at the end. If you just want to do like the plain name, go for it. I just found that so cool. I would love to know. Like that is when I get to meet Lee again, if I ever do, that is going to be my first question. Like, what would my name be in the Grishaverse? And or do you accept what I've come up with? Because I don't know if I said this last week. I did go with ERYK, obviously. But I really, really, really wanted ARYK. But it's just E because that's how my name actually is spelled. Yeah. So I felt like it just made a connection. But ARYK just was so cool to me.
Or AE. RYK.
See, and then all our listeners like that aren't watching are just like, oh God, you're making me think. I'm having to like actually like try to spell it out in front. Like, or maybe I'm the only one that would have problems with that, I guess. Okay, so enough of our shenanigans. Do you think we should get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, because we're only 13 minutes into the episode and we haven't even started.
Nope. All right.
But Quith, we're getting ready. Sorry, if anybody listened last week. That was his, yeah. He's back there pulling his hair out. Ha! Okay, that was funny for me. My husband shaves his head. So, okay.
A joke at your husband's expense.
He loves me. So we started off with chapter 24. Okay, yeah, because last week I gave you a heart attack saying we were at like another chapter. So we are.
Yes, that was a panic.
So we actually are opening up chapter 24 with a scene. It's Jesper. So it's just going to kind of explain where we are. And sorry for hitting the mic. Also, as always, our background music is amazing. It's by Kendra Dantes and produced by Year 26. So again, thank you for letting us use this. I think it brings a lot of drama and actual, I don't know, just mysteriousness to our scenes. Maybe one day we'll actually put on an actual production of our scenes. We'll have a stage in the back.
Well, we'll have costumes here pretty soon.
Yes.
There'll be a whole closet in the studio for our costumes.
Yes, and the actual applause will be from a real live studio audience. Right.
Grishaverse.
Right.
The musical.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, I need that now.
Yes.
Take my money.
Okay. So let's get started. So we're back at Jesper. If we kind of remember where Jesper was, he just had that fight with Kaz, and his father obviously is kind of getting hints to like knowing what happened, that everything's been a ruse. Okay. So this scene is between him and Inej. I will be playing Jesper and Terry will be playing Inej.
Mm-hmm.
So curtain up, y'all.
Jesper,
He whirled. Inej was right behind him. He hadn't heard her approach, but that was no surprise. Have you told Inej you're the reason she almost died at the end of Uman's knife? Well, Jesper figured he'd been doing a lot of apologizing this morning. Best get to it. Inej, I'm sorry.
I didn't come looking for an apology, Jesper. You have a weak spot. We all have weak spots.
What's yours?
The company I keep? She said with a slight smile.
You don't even know what I did.
Then tell me.
Jesper looked down at his shoes. They were miserably scuffed. I was in deep with Pekka Rollins. For a lot of Krug, his goons were putting the pressure on, so I told them I was leaving town, but that I was about to come into a big score. I didn't say anything about the ice court, I swear.
But it was enough for Rollins to put the puzzle together and prepare an ambush. She sighed. And Kaz has been punishing you for it ever since.
Jesper shrugged. Maybe I deserve it.
Do you know the Suli have no words to say I'm sorry?
What do you say when you step on someone's foot?
I don't step on people's feet.
You know what I mean.
We say nothing. We know the slight was not deliberate. We live in tight quarters, traveling together. There's no time to constantly be apologizing for existing. But when someone does wrong, when we make mistakes, we don't say we're sorry. We promise to make amends.
I will.
Mati un shiva yelu. This action will have no echo. It means we won't repeat the same mistakes, that we don't continue to do harm.
I'm not going to get you stabbed again.
I got stabbed because I let my guard down. You betrayed your crew.
I didn't mean...
It would be better if you had meant to betray us. Jesper, I don't want an apology, not until you can promise that you won't keep making the same mistake.
Jesper rocked lightly on his heels. I don't know how to do that.
There's a wound in you, and the tables, the dice, the cards, they feel like medicine. They soothe you, put you right for a time, but they're poison, Jesper. Every time you play, you take another sip. You have to find some other way to heal that part of yourself. She laid her hand on his chest. Stop treating your pain like it's something you imagined. If you see the wound is real, then you can heal it.
A wound? He opened his mouth to deny it, but something stopped him. For all his trouble at the tables and away from them, Jesper had always thought of himself as lucky, happy, easygoing, the kind of guy people wanted around. But what if he'd been bluffing this whole time? Angry and frightened, that's what the Fjorden had called him. What had Matthias and Inej seen in Jesper that he didn't understand? I'll try. It was the most he could offer right now. He took her hand in his, pressed a kiss to his knuckles. It may take me a while before I can say those words. His lips tilted in a grin. And not just because I can't speak Suli.
I know, she said, but think on it. She glanced towards the sitting room. Just tell him the truth, Jesper. You'll be glad to know where you stand.
Every time I think about doing that, I feel like hurling myself out a window. He hesitated. Would you tell your parents the truth? Would you tell them everything you've done? Everything that happened?
I don't know, Inej admitted, but I'd give anything to have the choice.
Aww. Anything to have the choice. And girl, we are getting good. I'm sorry. I mean, I hope those Emmy people are out there listening to podcasts. I know you're not, but hey, just listen to us. We're getting good at this.
Yeah, we are.
We are. And I love languages. I love that they put in her. The Suli are so smart. I just think they're like, it's amazing how much thought she's put into the Suli people, how they don't think about themselves. Like, what is the word? Like, they're not into themselves. They're very much not like American people. They're not all about themselves. They're very realistic. It's very, we are a group of people. We work as one, and it's like almost like they realize what's so important in life, the things that are important and things that aren't. Like, I mean, stepping on, like, for instance, they say, like, I mean, stepping on someone's toe, it's an accident.
Right.
But like, okay, so like the other day, like this literally happened to me. I get 2 breaks at work. And anyways, I guess when I got to work, my parking lot was like crowded. And you know how sometimes when you park and the cars next to you are very close, and the
Mm-hmm.
only way to get out is like to tap the door? Like you don't like
Right.
shove it open or
Right.
anything, but you tap it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I could like that was the only way I could get out. So like I like tapped it. Well, anyways, that happened when I went in. My break was like 2.5 hours later. I came out, went and I sent my car during my break, just to get away from everybody. Then when I was done, I got out and the car was still there, so I tapped it. I'm not even kidding you. The lady rolled down her window and said, "Hey, you hit my car." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she was like, "You hit my car twice." And I was like, "I tapped your car." And she's like, "You hit it." And I was like, "Honey, do you see a dent?" And she's like, I don't know." And I was like, "Honey, I work here. I tapped your car. I can see. I promise you, I did not hit your car. I'm sorry." And I walked off. But it actually really irritated me because it's just like things like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
people are so like she wasn't concerned at the fact that she wasn't even in her parking spot. You know what? Sometimes people have horrible parking jobs, but she wasn't even in her line. So the only way I could physically get in my car was to have to tap her car. But like at least I didn't jam it. She was so concerned about just like it wasn't her wanting to get out of the car, see if there was damage. She didn't care about that. It was more about the fact that she wanted to like just almost pick a fight,
Mm.
I feel. And like that's what really irritated me
Yeah.
because if she had gotten out and looked and really was concerned about her car, that would have been different. But she wasn't.
Yeah.
Her donut eating butt just was wanting to sit there and eat her donuts, which she didn't care about getting that white fluffy stuff all over her wheel, which I saw. She had it all over, but a
Oh.
dent on her car, which was not even, I don't know. Anyways,
No, the whole apology thing gets me into trouble a lot. And I say that because I have a whole different view on it. I don't apologize unless I 100% did something wrong. I
right. You,
I get a lot of flack from everyone about like expecting an apology.
what?
And my whole thing is I will not apologize for the way you perceived something. I
See,
didn't say something to hurt your feelings. I didn't do something to hurt your feelings. You perceived it that way. That's your problem. It's not mine. And that can be seen in a negative light, but that's how I roll. And I worked a long time to get there. And I will not apologize unless I 100% need to. And my whole thing in
yeah.
life is to never do anything that requires an apology. And that keeps me from doing things, like, because I don't want to have to apologize to somebody for something that I did because then that I've done something wrong. So one of my mottos is never do anything that you're going to have to apologize for.
Hmm.
And that, keeps you in line.
I've never seen you, like my entire life that I've known you, there's never been anything that I've thought you've ever needed to apologize for.
Nope, because
But are you saying like there are a lot of people that seem to think that you need to apologize for things?
yes, yeah, there's been many times where there's been something I've said has been taken wrong, and they are just waiting around for an apology, and I'm like, nope, you perceived that wrong. That's your problem, not mine. So moving
Yeah,
on.
absolutely. Yeah.
Now you can apologize to me for telling me that I was a terrible person. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, I need to adopt that because I cringe at confrontation, so like I will apologize for anything and everything just to get out of it, which is a horrible. I hate it. I hate that part about me. I hate being so fearful of confrontation. It's just it scares me. And I don't know, these like I mean, I apologize for something that I didn't need to apologize
Right.
for. Um well,
The
that's
things
why
that come out of your mouth, like you're responsible for, but if you did not mean them in a negative tone or you did not say them in a negative tone, it is the other person's responsibility on how they feel about it, how they perceived it. Their perception of what you said and what you did is none of your business.
yes. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you're my best friend. So I'm just gonna learn.
I
I'll wait for you.
Many, I will say all of my friends are very similar to you in that aspect. And I think
Yeah.
that's why you have friends that are the opposite of you, because you balance each other out. I mean, I would
Absolutely.
never get along with anyone else that's like, screw you,
Well, right.
because that would never work. But
No, that would not work at all. Yeah, I'd be frightened.
so you have to balance each other out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I need nice people in my life.
So you can be that troublemaker at heart.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm really a troublemaker.
No, you're not, but
I've-
I do remember that adjective we used last week, and I
Yes.
just can't forget about it.
Yeah. I get called the ice princess all the time. So
See,
I'll
and I
just
hate
take it.
that. I like Ice Princess because it seems really pretty, but like I don't
Let it
like the
go.
meaning behind it, like saying like your
right. That I'm
face-
emotionless.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not emotionless. It's just none of my business how you feel.
Yeah, no, you are not emotionless at all. I
No.
know you.
Nope.
Lord have mercy.
I
You
am
have
not.
got emotions. A
Mhm.
lot of them.
A lot. Very strong ones, which is, I think, one of the
Girl.
psychologists at school, because I work with the psychology
Me.
instructors, have said the people that hide their emotions all the time are the ones that feel them the most. And that's
Yeah.
why they don't show them.
Mm.
So there you go. You can take that.
Yeah. Take
But not
that.
everyone understands that. That's okay.
No. It's like, yeah. I feel like I've been doing a lot of that with my 13-year-old. He's at that age where he's like, he's really hitting puberty hard. So there's been a lot of these conversations that are like really important, but he is not getting a single word of
Oh, yeah.
it. And I just want to hit my head against this mic.
Uh-huh.
And I just can't get him. But anyways,
Gotcha.
let's move on. I know we don't have a lot to cover in the Grishaverse, but I didn't mean to go on that big of a tangent with you. Sorry, girl. Okay, so after that, wait, where am I? Oh, there I am. Okay. So Jesper tells his father that they all lied for him and that he lost the money his dog gave him for his studies on gambling. Jesper then has a flashback of his mom and his mother being a Grisha and how his father just flips out over it. His father was just not accepting of, what was the term they called? Zawa?
Zawa.
Zawa. And I love that. And I just can't remember it.
Because
His
they
fa-
didn't say Grisha.
They didn't say Grisha. But his father was just not accepting it because his father just, the moment it happened, his mother died, he just associated her death with that power.
Right.
And that power was the thing that killed his wife.
Mhm.
And they get into an argument about him being a Grisha and how he taught him how he's mad at his father because his father pretty much taught him his entire life to hide his powers, and tells his father that we all die anyways, whether we show or hide our powers, no matter what. You know, I mean, so what a good line. I mean, we're all gonna die no matter what I got from that. We're gonna die no matter if we're true to ourselves or not.
Exactly.
You might as well live in truth, or you can hide. I mean, you're gonna die no matter what.
100%.
And I love that. The power is not the thing that kills us. He runs into Wylan playing the piano.
I love this part, by the way.
Oh my
so
god.
Much. So
yes.
much.
For a minute, girl. For a minute,
No,
we
I
loved
loved
this.
the whole thing. I thought it was fantastic. So
Oh my
please
god.
continue.
I got excited and then I was like, oh! Okay.
No, I knew what was going on the whole time.
Did you really?
I did.
Damn, you're so good at spoilers. Okay, so I'm going to read this part. Wylan rose from the piano bench. He took a step toward Jesper. His eyes were a clear, luminous gold, like sun through honey. Jesper missed the blue, the long lashes, the tangle of curls. But if the merchling had to be wrapped up in a different package, Jesper could admit he liked this one plenty.
Mhm.
And did any of that really matter when Jesper was looking at him like that, head tilted to the side, a slight smile playing over his lips? He looked almost bold. What had changed? Had he been afraid Jesper wouldn't make it out of the scrape on Black Veil? Was he just feeling lucky to be alive? Jesper wasn't sure he cared. He wanted distraction, and here it was. And what does he do? He kisses Wylan.
Woohoo.
Boom, bam, slam, dunk. Because we've been waiting that.
We got some romance.
Jesper and Wylan. but scares me.
Psych.
Because who interrupts? Wylan. Yes. Don't forget. Kuwei. Wylan looks like Kuwei. So Jesper is kissing Kuwei, who looks like Wylan. And the real Wylan interrupts them and is like, ugh. And of course, slutty Kuwei. I'm sorry. He is so slutty. Slutty bottom. I am bottom shaming this one. Because he just kind of smiles at Jesper like, yeah, I tricked you. You were about to get up at here. But Kaz, yeah. Wylan tells
the real Wylan.
The real Wylan tells Kuwei and Jesper, Kaz wants to meet with us, by the way, and just walks off. And Jesper's like, you are more trouble than you're worth. And that's the end of the chapter. I get so excited about that. I wanted them to kiss, and I was so excited.
Kuwei is like, well, since we're probably going to die.
What a slutty bottom. Bottom shaming you.
But see, I figured something was going on because he didn't say anything. And then Jesper was saying that something felt different with him. So my brain was like, oh, it's Kuwei. He's about to kiss Kuwei.
I just can't believe, Kuwei and his trick games.
Oh, I loved it.
That little, he's shoe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that little shoe boy has some games his whole time. Shoe games. Shoe games. Okay. So anyways, that was my chapter. It wasn't a lot, but I made it last long.
And then there's mine.
Yes,
chapter 25 that follows Matthias, which there's not a lot about Matthias in there, so it kind of confused me why it quote unquote followed him.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information in this one, and I tried to kind of whittle it down. So
well, we're with you, girl. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Let's listen.
So we're all back in the sitting room of the fancy hotel. Remember, Kaz wants to see us.
The Gelderhal.
Yes.
That's sorry. Whenever they name the hotels or things I can't pronounce, I'm just like, I pronounce the first letter and then the ugh.
So if we remember the last time, remember last week, the plan is that Kuwei will sell himself, as in auctioning himself off.
Yeah.
The quote about this is, any Kerch citizen and any free citizen who travels to Kerch has the right to sell his own indenture. It isn't just the law, it's a trade, and there's nothing more holy in Kerch. Kuwei Yobo has the sacred right, as sanctioned by Gezin, god of industry and commerce, to submit his life to the will of the market. He can offer his service at auction, end quote. So that's kind of like tradition in Kerch, that you can be like, hey, everybody bid on me. I guess if you need money.
And isn't it kind of like, don't you, in your perspective too, like the first time that we kind of are like, because there hasn't been really a lot of religion that we've read about saints.
There was mention of Gezin before.
Right.
And then on that one island, there was like a giant statue or something that was in I don't know, where they were making the trade. It was like an area that was named for one of the...
Are you talking about in Six of Crows?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Kerch... Kerch seems to be like, I mean, in this story, we're hearing more about like any kind of religious thing besides like Fjorda kind of talking about Gel and the sacred ash tree. The religion is always fascinating to me in Grishaverse because there's like just small little snippets of it.
Right.
And like Kerch is just such an interesting one because it's about like money.
Yes, everything is money and
trade.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting. So I just wanted to, I don't know, bring that up to you and see if you kind of like were enamored with it like I am. Yeah.
So Kaz says they're going to fix the outcome so the people they want to win will win. He continues on by saying, trade is sacred, protected by law. The Merchant Council are duty-bound to make sure an auction proceeds without interference. The Stadwatch will be out in force, and the auction statutes demand that the the Council of Tides provide their assistance too. The Merchant Council, the Stadwatch, the Tides, all required to protect Kuwei, end quote. So no one can like go after them. So everyone has to like protect Kuwei, who is auctioning himself off.
Yeah, so he can't get in trouble from nobody.
Right. So
Uh-uh.
Inez, so because everyone knows kind of who he is, but they can't do anything during this time. So Inez is going to
Right.
go to the Rovkin embassy to let them know what's happening. And we learn that Crazy Pants Dunyasha claims she has Lansoff blood. So she was being considered by the Drskella to overthrow Nikolai, but they realized that she is, quote, delusional.
Really?
Yes.
I did not see that one coming at all. Mm-mm.
You mean she's crazy?
She crazy?
She cray.
Really?
She cray girl.
And she's Lansoff blood,
Yeah, sure.
which is so crazy. I love that. It's a small little line in there where they bring that up,
I
but I
know.
think it's so cool.
That's why I had to say it, because it's one of those little tidbits of like fun.
Oh yeah.
Nina brings up like, hey guys, Rock is broke, so they can't win the auction. And Kaz says the Kirch Merchant Council is going to loan them the money, which of course sounds ridiculous. So
Mhm.
everyone is like, yeah, right.
Right.
Kaz explains that Van Eck has been buying up Jurda farms so that when the Param recipe is public, he'll control the Jurda supply. When Kuwei announces the auction, the council will know the secret of Param will be public at any time. So they'll be free to act up by buying all the Jurda.
The Param recipe.
I know.
Sorry.
Isn't that funny?
I know.
He-
Martha Stewart's version coming out. Sorry.
She's
on.
my idol. He wants to set up a Jurda consortium for those greedy folk, but the
Mhm.
money will be funneled to Ravka instead, so they can afford to bid on Kuwei.
Smart.
Jesper asks who will be the face of it, though, because we're all criminals.
Do.
Kaz says Combe will be. He knows Jurda, he speaks Kirch and Zimini, and he looks the part. Combe, for some reason, agrees with this, which he shouldn't have. Kaz has already changed Combe's identity to Johannes Reitveld, who owns a farm and has holdings in Kirch and Novia Sim. If they get the money they think they will from the council members, they'll have at least 65 million Krug.
Wow.
And look, Matthias, all of a sudden in Matthias's chapter, he's worried about Kuwei's safety. Kaz says that he and Matthias will be with him. No disguises, though, because by law, Kuwei has the right to choose his own protection for the auction. No one can touch him until after the auction. And then Kaz says there will be a huge distraction, which we don't really know about yet.
No, we don't.
At this point, Kaz actually sorta admits a mistake by saying he shouldn't have gone to Rollins for that last deal.
One time.
Yeah.
Yep. Mark
Nina,
it.
I know, mark it in the calendar.
Only time it's going to
a
happen.
red day. Nina says they are going to need help, and Kaz says he's going to the Slat so he can get a bigger crew. They're all like, not a good idea, dude.
Right.
So Kaz's response, quote, when this is all over, when Van Eck has been put in his place, when Rollins goes running and the money paid, these will still be my streets. I can't live in a city where I can't hold up my head. I've taken knives, bullets, and too many punches to count, all for a little piece of this town. This is the city I bled for. And if Ketterdam has taught me anything, it's that you can always bleed a little more, end quote. Which I kind of like that quote, because he's like, I have given everything to this town and I'm not leaving it.
Well, he is Ketterdam.
He was born of Ketterdam.
Yeah, like it runs in his blood. He is. I don't know. He is Ketterdam to me.
So Nina says, that's great and all, but everyone isn't just going to like pack up and leave it to you. Kaz says he knows something that they're all afraid of, and Nina, you're going to give it to them. End of chapter. Cliffhanger. What is Nina going to do?
I know. We keep on doing these cliffhangers, but that's the point of it. So, I mean, it's part of it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out next week when you tune in to the GrishaCast.
Exactly.
The same Grisha time, same Grisha channel.
So, we're supposed to be doing this more often because, I mean, Fear to Marry Kill is like our thing, girl.
Okay.
And I came up with one for you.
All right.
Well, just because I wanted to.
Okay, ready to go.
Dunyasha, Inej, and Nina. Fear to Marry Kill.
Mary, Inej, Fjorden, Nina, and kill Dunyasha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy.
You have to kill Dunyasha.
You have to. She's so crazy.
You're not going to marry her Fjord Crazy Pants.
She's got red hair, doesn't she?
Yeah, well, that's the illustration we saw earlier
Yeah.
where
so
she's
it's
got red hair and freckles.
Yeah.
She's Rovkin.
Is she? Do we? I don't know if we know.
That's what they were saying in that part in the book where.
Oh, but she would have to be if she was.
Yeah, she's claiming that
Lancelot blood.
she's. Yeah.
So she would have to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, claiming. But I bet you anything she's not. I'm just
There's
guessing.
no
I can't.
telling because she's one of those like liars that always.
Well,
says
she's
something.
delusional. She's insane. She should take Alice's place.
She's like that kid in high school that always told you they were doing amazing things like going on tour with Aerosmith by playing the harmonica. And we know you're crazy.
Oh my God.
What's up?
I am. Did you have one of those?
Yes.
Really?
I was.
We can't talk about that on air.
Nope. I was 0.5 seconds from saying the name, but I'm not going to.
Yeah,
You know who you are.
They're probably not listening now
Nope.
because they're probably touring with Aerosmith.
They're too busy doing crazy, amazing things that, no one could ever prove.
There was a person that went to my camp that did that.
Yeah.
And
There's
I
always those people.
And I had no clue about it because I was just like, whatever. But it was about, but the thing is like their lies were about like some of the stupidest stuff. It was like about like all these books they read or something.
I think it was when I was like 9, I told my classmates that I was like actually a princess. But like, I think that's a normal thing to do.
Well, of course, but you are a princess, girl. You are the princess of Rollin' River.
Oh, Roland River, what up?
And I was Princess Sheffield.
Sheffield. Oh.
No one gets that except us.
I know.
Sorry, guys. Those are just the names
Everybody's
of
like, okay, moving on.
those are just the subdivisions we lived in.
Yeah. We lived behind each other. And then Sheffield flooded.
Yeah, and my house got struck by lightning and burnt down to the ground.
Yeah, Sheffield. Sorry, nobody knows anything about this, but that neighborhood went through some things.
It was a beautiful place to grow up.
It was, but it went through a lot.
My husband actually met me there.
Yeah.
And we got our photos done there. Which you bought.
My BFF before you lived there.
Which one?
I apparently like
yeah, I guess
Sheffield people.
Just so, which is so weird. And then remember when like we were growing up out of it, but like the Titans were just starting to get big and all the Titans started building houses there.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Yeah, in that area, yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. Sheffield kept growing.
I worked at Applebee's, and that's where I met some of the Titans players. They came in to have some wings and some beer.
Well, I'm just going to say
Alright.
I did some things up in that neighborhood. That playground.
Didn't we all? Alrighty.
Okay, and it is that time for... GrishaCast news. So,
All
moving on from wings and beers and Applebee's, we've got Grishaverse news. So there actually is a lot coming up. Lee has just let out a fiasco of upcoming events, and that is because a new book's coming out, the Historia Sanctia.
It's going to be so pretty.
It really is. Her Instagram feed, she actually showed a flip through of it, and it looks gorgeous. And it is the first book I've ever seen that has a half cover thingy,
Yes.
That's so interesting. But it's going to look exactly like the prop from the show, which is exciting.
That is.
But I'm just excited for the book itself. It's going to be great. It's going to have stories about the saints that we've read about, especially we learn more saints when we get into King of Scars. But any saint, I have a feeling that any mention of any saint is going to be in there, which is going to be really cool and probably was really exciting for her to be able to do that. And just to be able to all of a sudden come up with some of these stories. So exciting. So with that, she's got October 8th. She is doing, all this is virtual, of course. Lee and Clarabelle Tell the Truth. It's really cute. It's like a little bookstore. I believe it's somewhere in the South. It's I want to say feminist bookstore. And she's doing like a little, like just a virtual talk about the Grishaverse gossip and the power of the fandom, forbidden ships. And it's Thursday, October 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, it's kind of cool and cute. And it's somewhere in the South, this bookstore, Cheris Books and More. I'm trying to see if I can see where it is, but um hmm, somewhere.
It is somewhere.
It's somewhere in the South, I think. Um I but anyways, moving on.
It is the South's oldest independent bookstore located in Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur.
Decatur.
Told you. So that's going to be kind of cool. And they also automatically have, like, we do not tolerate harassment in any form. And they include sexual language, imagery, and anything also for gender identity, and sexual orientation. I mean, obviously there's the others, but like they actually mention that. So I love it when we've got places that are up and coming and understanding what's going on in our world today, unlike others. So October 10th, they're part of Comic-Con, which we know. Her and the director will first be having, I guess it's like it's a conversation between them, and I know we're gonna get some news. October, I think, is gonna be filled with, finally we're gonna get a lot of news that we've been waiting all year for, and it's gonna be a Grishaverse fest.
There has to be with so many events coming up. We
Yeah.
have to learn something.
So we're gonna find out more about the show. And then she's also doing a meet and greet one-on-one virtually at Comic-Con, which I signed up for. Anyways, moving on, October 27th, she has something. It's an Instagram live at Indigo Books. And then on October 29th, this one I'm so excited about because it's a Barnes & Noble Halloween book club with her and Aiden Thomas. Aiden Thomas is a transgender author who just came out with a book called Cemetery Boys that Lee mentioned in our interview with her that she told us we needed to read. So I'm very, 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 very excited about that. That's going to be a great interview. I haven't started Cemetery Boys, but it is on my shelf. It's the next book I read. So that's she's got all that on her site, on the Grishaverse site. If you're interested in any of that, just go straight to Grishaverse.com, click on her name. After you scroll down, you will see all the events, ways to join, ways to get all the information. So you can sign up there. There still are open spots for the one-on-one time with Lee if you'd like it. And you get lots of like cute little swag and stuff like that. And it's virtual, but hey, it's one-on-one with Lee. So I don't know how many spots are available, but anyways, snagged one. So yeah, there's a lot of Grishaverse coming. October's gonna be great. I'm excited for it. Just a reminder, we are trying to also do our own little Grishaverse birthday present for her in April. I know we keep mentioning it, but just because I want you guys to enter. We've had some people writing and asking about topics, which has excited me, and it's been really cool to get to meet some of you all. And yeah, so we'll just keep mentioning it. It's not like a huge thing right now because April's not right there, but it will come soon. So if you would like to be a part of that, please do not forget just to email us or me and get some more information. And since we are almost 1 year old, I would like to ask you all listeners, what do you guys like? What are your thoughts so far? I know that we've asked you guys to go and rate us, but we haven't had a lot of new ratings. And not that I know you guys are busy and don't have time, and I understand that like you might enjoy listening to us, but the last thing you really have time to do is to rate us. But we don't know what you all want unless you do. So we would love to, I know both of us would love to hear from you. Just to tell us, hey, you guys are doing a great job, or hey, you guys really suck. I really would love to like hear more of this. You guys are talking too much about this. The way that I believe Terry and I both try to do this show is by making sure that we're giving you what you want. We love the Grishaverse as much as you do. So we just want to make sure that we're giving you what you want. And yeah, the only way we can do that is if you help us. So please, the way that I look at Apple Podcast. I haven't figured out how to look at the reviews on Spotify. I know people can review us on Spotify, but I can't even figure out how to see them.
You can see everything if you just go to, like, if you Google GrishaCast reviews, everything is there from everything from like chart
okay.
or whatever. And yeah, everything. All the reviews from everywhere are kind of put
Okay.
into one little thing there.
Well, I was just thinking, I mean, we're only a 1-year-old baby that has no clue what we're doing, but we're enjoying it. And hey, we built a set.
We do know what we're doing.
We
Look at our
do.
numbers.
I know, but we're just we're having
charting.
so much fun, and I just want to make sure that all the fun we're doing is also giving you guys like all the pleasure and happiness in the world that you are enjoying listening to us. So please fill us in. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't want to hear. All of that. Constructive criticism is great, and we're here for you. We don't really care about all the other podcasts. We're not here to try to be like What's the Tea, RuPaul, and like we love them, but that's not what we're here for. We're not trying to like be number one. We're trying to just have a fun time and have a great podcast and have a place where all of us Grishaverse freaks can get together. And I mean freak in a really good way because I am so proud to be unique, and I know you guys are too. Aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. So that's what this is. It's a home for all of us to have a place to talk. And hey, we know Lee's coming back too, so that's another exciting thing. So I just talked for a while. Is there anything else you want to share before we close out, girl?
I think you covered everything.
Well, I know I don't shut up sometimes, but if you guys have any special talents or anything, any like Grishaverse-ish anything, and would like to share that with us, we would love to debut it, whether it be a song like Kendra did. Kendra is amazing, but if you guys do artwork, or I see so much great artwork, anything that you would like to show, please let us know. I mean, we've got lots actually back there that you don't even realize is things that you guys made. Fans, you guys are incredibly talented. So please share that with us. We'd love to share it now, especially since we're trying to get our YouTube channel to be a YouTube channel. So, anyways, we just love to help you guys out. Thank you so much for listening. Next week we are covering just 2 more chapters. We're going to do chapters 26 and 27. We're going to kind of take it slowly here, especially since October's coming and I've got a lot of costumes to come up with. So
we got some work to do.
We sure do. Okay. Well, it's starting to get chilly outside, guys. That's exciting. Okay. Well, we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Like, we're at the end of the hour, so my voice is a little husky. A+.
No mourners.
No funerals.
This has been GrishaCast. Connect with us on the web at GrishaCast.com. Send an email to info@GrishaCast.com.
Follow us on Instagram at GrishaCast, YouTube at GrishaCast, Twitter at GrishaCast,
and Facebook at GrishaCast. A special thank you for our background music created by Kendra Dante and produced by Year 26.